my viewers, welcome to Wodeyars Social Academy. Today, let us understand about the topic called as opposition to British rule in Karnataka and about Wodeyars of Mysore. Class 10 Standard, chapter number 4. The history of class 10 standard, the first 3 chapters called Advent of Europeans to India, Extension of the British Empire and Impact of the British Rule, where we understood that the British has almost occupied almost majority of the India, but in the southern side still he want to have his foothold, where he saw that there is a strong empire called as a Mysore Sultans who are having the rule on the place called as a Mysore. Before going to the Mysore, how it went under the hands of the British, let us understand about the Wodeyars, how it began, and one after how many Wodeyars, great Wodeyars who ruled on the place called as a Mysore, and they were having the good relationship with the British also. It has been found in the Karnataka, in the southern part of India, that people suffered under the hands of the British. That too specifically in the part called as agriculture. The agriculture, which was totally went under the hands of the British, has spoiled not only a common farmer but also to the landlords also, which caused that rebels arose in the different corner of the state called as Karnataka. In this chapter we are also going to learn about many number of freedom fighters who fought against the British to liberate the state called as Karnataka. So, how it begins? It begins with there was a ruler called as a Chamraja. Chamraja who dies without son. He was having the daughter. A Dalwai named Maranayaka who tried to marry with the daughter of Chamraja, which was not accepted by the Maharani, the wife of Chamraja. To help to the Maharani, Yaduraya and Krishnaraya, 2 brothers who came from Dwarka, who helped to the Maharani in defeating Maranayaka, and at last he was being defeated. The defeat of Maranayaka, it pleased to the Maharani, and Maharani in return gave her daughter to the Yaduraya, which from where we saw that Wodeyar dynasty it began. Many number of rulers came as a strong ruler of Wodeyar dynasty. Near about 25 Wodeyars ruled on the place called as a Mysore. Let us go one by one. Raj Wodeyar. Raj Wodeyar, whose rule is from the 1578 to 1617. Raj Wodeyar from 1578 to 1617, he ruled on the place called as a Mysore, one of the benevolent ruler, a strong administrator. A place called Pelepattu, a small place called Pelepattu was being converted into a big Mysore, making Srirangapatnam as its capital, and went on expansion the empire. He revived the temples of Srirangapatna, Mysore and Melakoti. Moreover, Rajmudi is nothing but it's a crown. Okay, he offered the Rajmudi, the crown, to the whom? To the Lord called as a Chelva Narayana Swami. In this way, Raj Wodeyar we have seen even in the expansion also, and even in the way in the reviving the temples. Another side, after him, Chikkadevaraj Wodeyar, who come to the power in the period of 1673. In the period of 1673 to the period of 1704. Who? Chikkadevaraja Wodeyar, who came from the period of 1673 to the period of 1704. One more very important to know this, that during this time, almost whole India was under the hands of the Mughal Empire. Mughal Empire, who was there on the Delhi, and from Delhi he used to administer. The southern part of the India was also under the hands of the number of commanders of the Mughal Emperor. Now here, Chikkadevaraj Wodeyar, whose period begins from 1673 to 1704, right? He was also one of the strong ruler who checked the invasions of Shivaji, the great leader of Maratha Empire. Moreover, he, by his work, by his administration, he got a title called as Karnataka Kavi Chakravarti. He got the title called Karnataka Kavi Chakravarti, and even called as a Navakoti Narayana. It has been found that in his revenue, he was having near about 9 crore of gold coins. This is the reason he was referred as a Navakoti Narayana. Moreover, to run a proper administration, he started a council of ministers called Athara Kacheri. Athara in the Hindi, the word which says what? 18. The members of 18 who helped him in the way in the administration. Athara Kacheri. Moreover, during his time only, in the time of Chikkadevaraj Wodeyar, postal system was started. This postal system was called as a Anche. Okay, postal system which has been used to supply the messages from one place to another place. So it was been called as a Anche. Moreover, a dam was also constructed on the river called as a Kaveri. Okay, Kaveri, the lifeline of Karnataka, Kaveri. And moreover, to have a proper irrigation to the agriculture sector, 2 canals were also being constructed called as a Dodda Devaraja and Chikka Devaraja. In this way, Dodda Devaraja and Chikka Devaraja, these are the 2 canals which helped in the way in the agriculture sector. In this way, Raj Wodeyar and Chikka Devaraj Wodeyar played a very important role in the expansion and development of the Mysore. In the year 1881 to the period of 1894, to the period of 1894, we saw the rule of Chamarajendra Wodeyar X. His rule came after the end of the commissioner rule. The commissioner rule, which began from the period of 1831 to the period of 1881, as promised by the British to hand over the power in the hands of the Wodeyars. According to that promise, now Chamarajendra Wodeyar X, from 1881 to 1894, we saw him as a ruler of the place called as a Mysore. Okay, so when he was there as a ruler of the Mysore, during that time, what we have seen that C. Rangacharlu was appointed as Diwan. He was made appointed as a Diwan, and during his period, so Sri Rangacharlu, what he did, he established Mysore Representative Assembly. What did he establish? He established Mysore Representative Assembly, and by whom? By Sri Rangacharlu. And also gold mines in the where in the Kolar in the year 1881. Gold mines in the which place called as a Kolar in 1881. Simultaneously with that, Bangalore-Mysore railway line. Bangalore-Mysore railway line was also started in the year 1882. So it's a contribution of whom? Of C. Rangacharlu, right? Who was a Diwan of whom? Diwan of Chamarajendra Wodeyar X. Moreover, after the death of C. Rangacharlu, after the death of him, K. Sheshadri Iyer becomes a Diwan. K. Sheshadri Iyer becomes a Diwan. So when he was there, when K. Sheshadri Iyer was there, and he is also Diwan under the whom? Under the Chamaraj Wodeyar X. So when he was being there, so he brought up Mysore Civil Service Examination. The purpose of bringing Mysore Civil Service Examination is to bring up the talented youngsters of for various administrative positions. Right, there will be to run an proper administration. If a proper talented people would be there, then only proper administration can be done. Keeping this in the mind, Mysore Civil Service examination were being started for the talented youngsters. Moreover, in the year 1894, Anti-Child Marriage Prevention Act. Anti-Child Marriage Prevention Act. We very well know that in the country called as India, in the earlier days, child marriages was being highly practiced. Now here in the 1894 Anti-Child Marriage Prevention Act was being what implemented. Moreover, hydroelectric power at the place called Shimsha hydroelectric power also was being started during the period of whom? Period of the K. Sheshadri Iyer. So here Sri Rangachalu and K. Sheshadri Iyer played as a divan, played a very important role in the expansion of the Mysore. Moreover, Chamraj Wodeyar 10th itself, who was a great patron of the music, art, architecture as well as the literature. During his period, he gave more attention. Chamraj Wodeyar 10th gave more attention on the girls' education. Where this is the reason because Maharani girls' education was being established only to help to the girls to have the educations. Moreover, during his time, Swami Vivekanand, who too visits to his empire, and Chamraj Wodeyar 10th helps Swami Vivekanand to attend to the religious conference at the place called as a Chicago. Moreover, in his period, there was a well-known poet called as a Basappa Shastri, who too wrote many number of books, who is being called as Karnataka Kalidasa, who is being referred as a Abhinava Kalidasa. Apart from him, many other poets were also encouraged by the Chamraj Wodeyar 10th. In this way, Chamraj Wodeyar 10th played a very important role in the expansion of the Mysore Empire.